the intangible stuff.
If you just picked up the Google Pixel 8 Pro, first of all, let me congratulate you on a good choice. You now have the phone with the most googliness of them all. And I've spent the past couple of days searching for the very best tips, tricks, and hidden features on the internet and on the device itself so that you don't have to. There will be timestamps below this video so you can jump around to the bits that are most useful to you. And if any of these tips help you, this will be my face if you just subscribe. So here are more than 25 tips and tricks for you to use on day one. Let's get into it. Straight out of the box, the Pixel 8 picture quality looks impressive, but did you know it's not at its best by default? Here's how to take it up to the next level. Go to your settings, go to display, scroll down to screen resolution, and here you can set it to the full resolution of 1344 pixels by 2992 pixels. And now you have the maximum resolution that your phone is capable of. By default, there are 3 easy ways to summon your Google Assistant. Tap on the mic here at the bottom, speak the wake words, or even push the power key to summon your AI. However, I think you might prefer the power key to be a power key. To do this, go into your settings. Scroll all the way down to System, and on this page you will see Gestures. And at the bottom of the gesture page you'll see press and hold power button. And I think it's kind of funny how Google call it a power button but don't actually set the default to be a power button. So if you want to change that, you can switch it to power menu and that will solve the problem. Of course, one of the very first things that a lot of people want to do with a new phone is customize the wallpaper. To do this, all you need to do is hold your finger down on an empty bit of space on the home screen, tap wallpaper and style. And then here you can go into more wallpapers. And if you want to use one of your own photos, you can do that here. And there's a bunch of preset ones from Google, which are pretty sweet. Choose the wallpaper you want, hit set wallpaper, and you can choose to set it for home screen and lock screen or just one or the other. And also in the more wallpapers section, you'll find Google's living universe wallpapers, which are some of the best, I think. I really like the way that these move when you scroll back and forwards between pages. But what's really going to blow your mind is this. Go back to your wallpaper and style settings by holding down and going to wallpaper and style. Go to more wallpapers, and at the top, you'll see the AI wallpapers. Here you can use Google's AI to create something truly unique. Here you can choose between one of the 7 themes, for example, the dark theme. And if you want to, you can use the Inspire Me button at the bottom to generate a wallpaper randomly using AI. But if you want to be more creative and more selective about what you want as a wallpaper, see these words at the bottom here where they're underlined with little dots. By tapping these, you can change what they say and create something far more personalized and unique to your phone. The results are impressive, and you can even swipe across to see different versions of the AI art that you just generated. But I'm going to stick with Wolverine for now. And if you guys want this wallpaper, make sure you leave me a comment and I'll send you the link. Okay, so now you've set up your perfect wallpaper, here's a feature that you might like. Tap and hold once again on the home screen, go to wallpaper and style once again. And on this page, you will see themed icons, which is a brand new beta feature. The themed icon setting will match your icon's colors with the wallpaper so that you're less distracted by all of the colors that apps normally have on the UI. And it can look pretty sweet. So definitely use this one if you like the style. Now this one is just a suggestion. The Pixel 8's display is quite large and I think it's a good idea to use the space well. Tap and hold on the home screen again on an empty space. Go back to wallpaper and style one more time. Scroll to the bottom of this page and you will see app grid. And you can see I've already set it to 5x5, but it won't be on this by default. I do recommend you set it to 5x5 because now you'll have more grid space for more widgets and more apps all in one place. The stereo speakers on the new Pixel devices sound better than ever, but did you know you can make them sound even better? To do this, go into your settings. Scroll down to sound and vibration. Scroll down again to adaptive sound. Once enabled, your phone will now use its microphones to adjust your phone's sound output based on the ambient sound around you. And this is all done on device, so it's not being sent off anywhere, so you don't need to worry about that. So I do recommend you switch this one on. Okay, so here's another customization tweak. If you hold down again, come back to wallpaper and style. But this time we're going to be looking at the lock screen. So hit lock screen in the top left corner. And on this page, you can swipe across to choose from the different styles of clocks. You could even tap here to adjust the clock color and size, and even the brightness. In regards to size, you can set it to dynamic. So if you get lots of notifications, it will dynamically switch to the smaller size and put the notifications in the center. And keep in mind that the clock style you choose carries over to the always on display. So you'll see the outline of that clock on the always on. Okay, so this is a quick one. You might find it hard to find the always on display settings, and that's because it's not named as always on display. So here's how to find that. Go to your settings, scroll down to display, and here go to lock screen. And at the bottom of this page, you'll see the section when to show, and it says always show time and info. This is the always on display setting, and it does use a little bit more power. So if you're worried about that, make sure this is switched on. Tap to check phone. Now, if you don't want people to be able to read previews of your messages on the lock screen, then you should do this. Hold your finger down on the lock screen, go to wallpaper and style. Now go to lock screen at the top, scroll down and you'll see more lock screen options. And at the top, you'll see privacy. And at the moment it's set to show all content. You can go to this and set it to show sensitive content only when unlocked. Now you'll still see the notifications for the messages. They just won't be readable until you unlock the phone. Now here's another bit of lock screen customization that you should definitely do on day one. Tap and hold on the home screen once again, wallpaper and style, lock screen again at the top, scroll down and you'll see this. Shortcuts. Here you can customize the shortcuts on the left and right side of your lock screen. For me personally, I like to have the wallet on the right side and on the left, the torch. But you can choose from any of the options you see here. Now this trick is not for everybody, but it's incredibly unique in the smartphone world right now. It's the ability to create multiple users on one device. To set this up, go back to your settings, scroll all the way to the bottom to system, go down again until you see this, multiple users. Once this is set up, each user can have their own unique space on the Pixel device and no access to the primary account. One thing to remember is that the storage capacity is shared, which could pose a problem if one of the users decides to download an entire season on Netflix, for example. So just be mindful of that. So the world is not all sunshine and roses. And if you happen to lose your phone somewhere in public, the chances of getting it back are quite slim, but you can increase those chances if you do this. Hold your finger down on the home screen again, go to wallpaper and style again, go to lock screen, scroll down to more lock screen options and tap add text to lock screen. Here you can leave some backup contact details. So if somebody does find your phone and they're not they can reach out to you to let you know that they have it. So it's a good idea to set this up. This one's a valuable tool if you're a music lover. Go to your lock screen settings once again. Another way to do this is to go to your settings, display and lock screen. Scroll down till you see this, now playing. When this is enabled, your phone, even when locked, can identify music playing around you automatically. Yes, this does mean your phone will be listening all the time, but the upside to this is that you will always know what you're listening to whenever there's music playing. And if you're worried about your privacy, just know when you enable this, it will download a database onto the device. So most of the sound recognition will happen here on device. So it's not sending off recordings of what you're doing to random people on the internet. And if you do want to access the internet to find out what song it is, if your phone doesn't already know, you can enable this switch and that will show up on the lock screen as a search button. The internet is full of people and companies trying to collect your data so that they can make more money off of you. And one of the things you should be aware of on the Pixel device is this free security tool built into the Pixel device by default. To access this, go into your settings. Go to network and internet, and here you'll see VPN. And you'll see this, the built-in VPN from Google One. This free VPN, when enabled, will protect your identity when online. And have you ever heard that saying, when the tide goes out, you'll really see who's swimming naked? Don't let that be you, use this tool. The Google Assistant is one of the best and most valuable tools on the internet, and this tip will make it even better. Go into your settings, go into apps, scroll to Assistant, and scroll to Routines. What's excellent about routines on the Pixel device is there's a bunch of preset actions already in place, but you can utilize the Google Assistant to perform actions in the routine as well. So you don't just have to rely on the default ones. To do this, hit New at the top, choose whether it's for personal or household, add a starter command, so whatever you want that to be. And at the bottom where it says choose actions for the routine, if you scroll all the way down, second from the bottom, you'll see try adding your own. Here you can type in a command that will access the Google Assistant. Using this tool, you can set up some fantastic routines that could be a game changer for you. One important power saving setting to look into is, of course, the power saving mode. To find it, go to Settings, Battery, Battery Saver, and here you can choose between two, the Standard and the Extreme. However, the Extreme does give you more control over what can and can't run while it's active. And this is why it's my preferred mode. If you tap the settings icon next to it, you can add apps that will be allowed to pass through. And if you use the drop down menu here, you can see the battery usage percentage. Now this next one I think will be a convenient tip for you. Go to Settings, scroll to the bottom, go to System, here go to Gestures, and here tap on one-handed mode. And on this page you can choose how to activate the one-handed mode so that you can reach the top of the screen with ease. With this enabled, you can swipe down on the white bar here at the bottom to go into the one-handed mode. And what might be even better than that is if you swipe down on the same page, don't toggle this on yet, tap on where it says one-handed mode shortcut. You can now set up the volume keys as a quick way to activate the one-handed mode by pushing both volume up and volume down at the same time. And the other alternative is to have the accessibility button on screen all the time, but this, in my opinion, is far better. Have you ever accidentally swiped away an important notification and then struggled to find it again afterwards? Well, this next tip will solve that problem. Go to your settings, go to notifications. Here you'll see notification history. When enabled, your Pixel can show you a back catalog of every notification you've had since you turned this on, even if you swiped it away or snoozed it. So I think at some point in time, if you have this enabled, you'll find it very useful. And if you do switch this on and then decide to switch it off again, it will clear all of the history from this page. Nothing is more annoying than your screen dimming or switching off whilst you're reading an article on a website. For example, the website version of this tips and tricks list at WhatGear.net. Feel free to go check that out if this video is moving a bit too fast for you. But here's a trick that can solve that problem. Go to Settings, go to Display, go to Screen Timeout, and at the bottom here you'll see Screen Attention. With this switched on, your Pixel will now use the front-facing camera to detect if you're still looking at the screen or not. It will keep the screen on while you're still looking, and when you stop looking, it will dim and eventually switch off. And you probably notice I have my screen timeout set to 30 minutes. That's just because I'm using this phone to film a video. Normally I'd have it set to 30 seconds. Whilst we're on the topic of eyes, go to your settings once again, go to Display once again. Now scroll down till you see this. Night light. When this is enabled, it will turn the hue of the phone more warm, and if you tap on the text itself, you can set a schedule for this to kick in. So set a sensible schedule when you know you're going to be winding down for the day, and in doing this, it will help you get better sleep by reducing the amount of blue light intake. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you want to see what's being said on your phone, even when the volume is set to 0, do this. Go back to Settings. Scroll down to Accessibility. Scroll down again until you see Live Caption. You can also use this feature to translate other languages in real time on the device. And if you enable this, you can now decode the spoken words on videos or even audio content on the phone, and it will display it in captions for you. Have you ever seen the Nothing phone? It uses LEDs on the back to alert you to calls and other things. Well, you can do something similar here on the Pixel device. To set this up, go to your settings, scroll down to accessibility again, scroll down again, and you'll see this, flash notifications. You can set this up to be the camera flash on the back of the device or even the screen on the front. This is really designed for people who are hard of hearing, but if you fancy being a little bit flashy with your device, you could enable the camera flash. Okay, this next one is fire, and it's a brand new feature here on the Google Pixel devices. Go into your photos, open a photo that you have in your photo gallery, go to edit, and now in the bottom left corner, you'll see a new icon. This is the magic editor. Here you can select elements of the photo that you want to resize or move around within the picture. This could be useful for placing people into the center of the frame or even more out of the frame. And this also works for objects in the scene as well. And as you can see, the results are really impressive. You might run into some problems if there are a lot of shadows in a scene, but I have to say, just from playing around with this on day one, I'm really impressed with the new Magic Editor tool. And if you're not happy with the result, it does give you a few alternatives to choose from as well. If you have kids, they may ask you to use your phone occasionally, and if so, you're gonna love this one. Go into your settings, scroll down to security and privacy, and here scroll down to the bottom of the page to more security and privacy. Now at the bottom of this page, you'll see this, app pinning. With this enabled, you can now pin a specific app on screen and give the phone to the person who wants to use it. They'll only be able to use that app, so they can't go shopping or snoop around on your phone without your permission. Make sure the ask for pin before unpinning is enabled. And here's how you would use it. Open the app that you want to pin on screen, swipe up to bring up your backgrounding, tap on the icon of that app, and then you'll see pin here. Now this app is locked on screen, and you'll see I can swipe around and navigate within the app, but I can't go back to anything else on the device. Now, when I was first playing around with this, one of the problems I ran into was how to unpin the pinned app. Here's how you do it. You swipe up and hold. That locks the phone. You can now unlock the phone with your biometrics or your PIN number, and you're back into the phone as it was. Completely unlocked. So you've made it all the way to tip 25, and of course, as a reward for watching this far into the video, I've saved some bonus quickfire tips just for you guys. If you have iPhone friends, maybe a time will come when you want to send them some of your photos. And yes, you could use WhatsApp, but you should know images sent via WhatsApp are pretty heavily compressed, which means they're going to lose a lot of quality by the time they get them. Here's a better way to share photos with your iPhone friends. Go to your photo gallery and select the photos you want to send. Hit the share button, and instead of sending them via WhatsApp, go to create link. Tap create link, and now send the link to that person via WhatsApp so that they can access the full quality photos with no compression, so that you can show them how much better your photography is than theirs. Here's a secret setting that can save you time. Go to your settings once again, scroll down to system, go to gestures, and at the top of this page, you'll see quick taps to start actions. Enable this, and you can set this to do whatever you like from this list, and you can even set up a specific app using this option here. I do recommend you enable require stronger taps for this, because it might go off accidentally in your pocket or just when you pick up the phone sometimes. I learned that the hard way on the Pixel 7, and I believe it will be the same here on the Pixel 8. One of the apps that I set up on this previously was the Google Wallet. It's just handy being able to open it without having to touch the screen itself. Isn't it annoying when you're trying to be productive and people keep blowing your phone up? Well, I know how annoying that is firsthand, and this tip is a great one to use on day one. Go to settings, scroll down again to system, go to gestures, And at the bottom here, you'll see flip to shh. Now, whenever your phone rings and you don't want to speak to the person, you can flip the phone face down to mute the call and let them talk to the table. This next one's not going to be for everybody, but some of you might like it. So check this out. Go to settings once again. Go to security and privacy. Scroll to the bottom of this page. Go to more security and privacy. And in the security section, go to extend unlock. Here are some features that will allow you to bypass the unlocking process based on whether the device is on you or if you're in a specific location such as your home. You can also set it up to work in combination with another device, for example, a Google Pixel Watch. Let's say you and your friend both have the new Pixel phone and you want your phone to feel faster than theirs. Here's how you can do that. Go to your settings, scroll down to accessibility, go to color and motion, and enable remove animations. Now your phone, when put side by side with another Pixel, same model and everything, will appear to be faster than theirs. So like the wise man DJ Khaled once said, here's another one. The Google Assistant is one of the best and most valuable tools on the internet, and this tip will make it even better. Go into your settings, go to apps, go to Assistant, and here you'll see continued conversation. With this enabled, when summoned, you can ask your AI a question like you normally would. But once the request is answered, you can then ask a follow-up question or request without using the wake word every single time. So I do recommend you switch this on. And while we're here, you might want to take a look at the quick phrases because the incoming call phrase is not enabled by default. With this enabled, you can use your voice to accept, decline, or silence a call without having to touch the phone. Okay, here's the last brand new feature for you in this Pixel tips and tricks guide. This one's truly buried away within the settings and particularly hard to find. So I'm guessing not many people are going to know about it unless they've made it this far into this video. So check this out. Go into your settings, go to security and privacy, tap on the privacy section here, tap on ads. Now tap on ads privacy. And on this page, go to add topics and enable it. With this new setting enabled, as you begin to use your Pixel device day to day, the phone will start to collect and categorize the ad types. So if you start getting loads of ads for weight loss or something like that, you can come to this section here and tell the phone you don't want to see any more ads like that anymore. And like I said before, you have to keep using it for it to collect all of the data from different apps on your device. So you've made it to the end and you might be wondering why I didn't include many camera tips and tricks, especially considering the Pixel's superpower is the camera systems. Well, that's because I'm working on a dedicated camera tips and tricks video for you guys. So if you're interested in seeing that, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and don't forget to leave me a comment if this video helped you. And if you've got any tips and tricks of your own that I might have missed, make sure you leave those in the comments below because I'm sure other people will find those useful too. Appreciate you guys for watching this one. If you just subscribed, I will see you in the next one. Don't be late.